All right, all right. Oh, hello.
Hello,
Hi, Todd. How are you?
Jeremy. I'm good. How are you doing?
I am great. So good catching up with you right before we started this podcast.
Very
So
nice.
exciting to hear about what you've been doing. Why don't you tell the world who you are? Who are you? Why are you on this OhHello podcast right now?
It's a good question, Jeremy. Todd Orton. Hello, all of you out there. I think I'm someone who defined myself in a lot of different ways. I'm a parent, partner, aspiring entrepreneur, a friend, a brother, a collaborator, co-conspirator, troublemaker sometimes. I think in this context, mentor. Um, so, yeah, really admire what you're doing, Jeremy, and excited to be a part of this.
Thank you, Todd. That means a lot. You had mentioned co-conspirator. You had mentioned entrepreneur. Why don't you tell us a little bit about just one of your entrepreneurial journeys right now?
Yeah, well, my wife and I started a direct to consumer spice company. I say we started that original concept about 18 months ago. The product is called CRUSHN. And we are big fans of pizza, as I'm sure a lot of our listeners are. And we're also big fans of crushed red pepper on our pizza. We found that the actual experience of shaking out some crushed red pepper on your pizza fell short of our expectations, and we went on a mission to see if we could disrupt the crushed red pepper market. And yeah, pleased to say, about 18 months in, we launched the actual product in September. People seem to love it, and we're just trying to get the word out there and learning a lot about direct-to-consumer marketing and marketing on different types of performance channels, and learning a lot about starting a business. So it's been quite fun.
Amazing. Well, having 25 plus years of advertising and marketing plus tech experience, it's probably a fun journey to go and start your own thing and be able to just use the experiences and shifting and shaping of what you've seen with giant enterprise and mid-market based customers, and now use it, for your own business.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a combination of leveraging a lot of the knowledge that we both have from our experience in marketing, but it's also, when you're trying to get content to go viral on TikTok, it's a whole different world from, the marketing world that I grew up in. So a lot of learning, a lot of new experiences. And I think it all relates very much to, what you're trying to do, and the concept of mentorship. It's like I feel like I've been incredibly blessed in my life and my career to have really strong mentors. And I've been overwhelmed by the generosity of people willing to share, their time and experience as like we've started this new venture.
Who are some of those mentors that have made a profound impact on you, Todd Gordon?
Yeah, I would start. I would have to start with my parents. My I grew up with my family running a small manufacturing business, and my mom and dad worked together. Big chunk of their life together. My dad's now passed, and yeah, I think I learned a lot about hard work and empathetic leadership. And I would go to work with my dad and do very, very bad summer jobs working for him. But he really believed that like if you wanted to be a leader, then you should understand the job of every single person that was working with you and for you. And so, I never saw him managing a company from a corner office. Like, he was out with his people, seeing what they were experiencing. And, that's a lesson as I start to grow up in the business world that I really took to heart. So, they're my, first and ultimate mentors. I was incredibly blessed. My very first day in media, I actually didn't have a desk. There was no desk for me. My desk was a chair on the corner of a gentleman named Bob Flood's desk. And Bob was, an established TV buying professional at the time and became, a manager, leader, mentor, friend to not only to me, but to a number of my contemporaries at the time. And this goes back many years. Like Bob was a mentor to me and to a nice crew of early friends from the media business to this day. Like we actually, still try to get together once or twice a year and have a flood dinner and just sort of celebrate the successes that in a big way Bob led. But Bob helped all of us sort of get established in our career and has been a resource. So he's just like a ultimate example of what mentorship can do, both in impacting individual people, but also creating a community of people who have like worked together, worked with Bob, and mentored by Bob. So it's a pretty great example and one that I've always aspired to.
It's awesome. Sounds like Bob made a profound impact along with both of your parents as running a family business and exposing you to real life and the dynamic of working with different people and just being able to get your hands dirty, which obviously now being very well versed within the advertising, marketing, and tech communities. With your experiences that you've had, what would you say characterizes and defines your skill set of what you're going to be sharing with the OhHello community?
So, look, I've worked in media and advertising and ed tech and martech for a lot of years. So, and both on the agency side as well as the technology platform side. So, as far, I have a lot to offer in sort of more specific advice if someone wants to get into a certain area. I think a lot of people right now are in a position where they are trying to pivot in their careers a little bit, either their own choice or a choice that's been pushed down upon them. So I think I have a lot to offer. I've tried to be nimble and pivot and move with the flow in my career and sort of understand that journey from, especially, more specifically from traditional TV into, all the more data and technology driven parts of our business. And then, like more personally, I think I have a good knack for helping people find their true passions in their career. And I've always really focused a lot on, not only the development of the skills of the people that I work with to do their job better, but also everyone asks, like, where do you see yourself in 3 years, 5 years, et cetera? I don't think anyone on their own has a good answer for that. But I do think that there's a discipline and being a good listener and recognizing talent and helping people tease out the parts of what they do and the things that they're passionate about and where that could lead them down the road is something that I personally have a lot of passion for, and I think it's something I'm pretty good at. So like that's an area that I've always liked to lean into.
Absolutely. And you and I were also talking about just with OhHello.io, one of the capabilities and one of the areas that will help be able to provide help, guidance, assistance to people is that expertise, having access to specific companies, people. For those that are, when we hear about, as I said, tongue in cheek a week or two ago, several weeks back, of millions of people in the tech and marketing communities losing jobs, but really every day it's another 10,000 people, whether it's Google, Amazon, Facebook, Meta, Salesforce, Stripe, Twitter, the list goes on and on and on. If someone's looking for expert knowledge, what are some of the areas of your expertise? And then with that, your expertise, like if you were able to help the O's, help the up and comers, help people figure out what's next, like what's some advice that you would give yourself if you were, whether you're 25 or 35-year-old Todd?
Yep. So, from a more technical expertise and, I'm also in the spirit of entrepreneurship, also working on a consulting practice that I'd say is still in stealth mode, but stay tuned there. But I do think, right, I have a particular expertise in advanced data driven TV, and
Yeah,
both
you do.
helping brands think through how to make the transition from linear into connected TV, and more traditional buying to more audience based buying, from audiences into outcomes, which I really think is the future. So yeah, I mean, I think I've been working with agencies to help them think about how to modernize their offering or appeal to different types of clients, with smaller brands that haven't done TV before that might want to get into TV, bigger brands that are trying to change the way that they think about premium video. And yeah, and I think there's a lot of opportunity there with innovative small companies in the ad tech space that really just that have great products that just really need to think through their go to market. So lots of expertise there. And then what's your second question about advice or
Advice? So being able to, there you go. As you're a fantastic listener, you picked up on it. Being able to provide guidance to a younger Todd, if you were 25, if you were 35, for those that are on the bench, you're trying to figure out their next steps. What would you tell yourself, being a bit more, I don't know, seasoned? Get it? Because of the red chili pepper.
Good one.
Yeah, thanks. I'll be here all week.
I would say that to me, like, being willing to take bigger risks, it is a big one, where I think a lot of times in the moment you're just afraid to make that jump, right? It's like, even when you're 25, you still feel like you have bills to pay and responsibilities, and it's scary to take risks. So I think I'd say, when I look back, like, I think I've been maybe like a step or two slow in taking that jump. I've found my way there. When I made the jump from the agency world to TubeMogul, like, one of the best things I ever could have done in my career, I'd say I was probably should have done that a few years earlier. So I'd say be willing to take those risks. I've also, I think that a big one for me, and this is advice that was given to me, is don't rely on the things that you're best at, right? There's a tendency to just say, like, this is what I'm good at. I'm going to focus my energy at being as good as possible at that thing. And then you neglect the things that you're not. So sometimes, like, conquering your fear, doing the thing that you're afraid of, doing the thing that you're not, that that you're not as good at, and then you shy away from it, is actually the best way to develop. And I think challenging yourself to go after the things that scare you is a pretty good way to get ahead in this world.
Challenge yourself, and you decided to challenge yourself, and you realized by challenging yourself, it helped you get to where you are today, which is amazing lessons learned from just going for it. With that said,
I feel the same. I mean, it's the same way. It doesn't change, right? Whether you're 25 or 45 or
totally
older than that, it's like the same things, and trying to figure out what's next, and figure out what risks to take, and how to put yourself in interesting and challenging and dynamic positions. So I think mentorship, being mentored and mentoring people, is a lifelong thing, right? It's not just late career professionals and people new to the working world. I think people are incredibly willing to be giving of their time. And if you extend yourself and ask someone for help, you'll be shocked at how generous people are with their time.
Speaking of generosity, speaking of helping people, as you know, the hellos, so the supply side of OhHello, have the ability to give back and to donate and to have that feeling of altruism. And within the States, we are plugged into 40 plus different charities. And around the world, there are going to be several hundred, since this is a global company. What charity amongst the charities that we are intertwined with is near and dear to you, and why?
Thanks, Jeremy. Look, I absolutely love that this is a part of your company mission. I think on its own, you really have something special, but that really adds another element that I think brings a lot of value. My mom is a breast cancer survivor, and so that's an area that is near and dear to our heart. So I think that's probably the direction I would go to with my charitable contribution.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you for sharing your story. Thanks for being part of the OhHello podcast. Love catching up with you. This is great.
Yeah, music.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jeremy. Always good to see you. Appreciate it.
You too, Todd. Take care. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Until the next one.